Certainly if you're an iOS user, this is something you may have been experiencing, and that's some apps that were crashing. If this sounds familiar, well, the same thing happened back in May. So let's talk about why. Well, here it is. So with Tinder, Pinterest, Spotify, TikTok, a number of different apps, and this is just for iOS users, you were seeing them crash. Now, if you went offline, you were able to open them. So when you were hooked up online, you couldn't open them. Going off, you could. Here is why that was happening, and that is because of Facebook's login software. So Facebook's SDK, which, you know, when you sign up for an account, for an app, it says, hey, do you want to sign in with your Google account, set up a new one, or just use Facebook? Well, when you're doing that, you're going through Facebook's servers, and that is where the issue was. So this did happen previously back in May where this went on. It does look like it is resolved for most people now, but it does kind of showcase some of the different things that you're doing when you're signing in and going through services like that. It does make it very convenient, but it does put you at that risk where something could happen and crash. Now, there's no issues that have been reported as far as information or hacking or anything like that. It's just an inconvenience, but nonetheless, that is why that was happening. So a lot of confused people on social media posting about that, trying to understand why, and understandably so. That is what happened. So it's Facebook's SDK that caused that issue. Again, it does seem to be fixed now, but if you want to read more about it and find out why that stuff happens, you can go to digitaltrends.com. Definitely a trending news story there. Continuing on with trending news stories, let's talk about TikTok. They have not had a great week. Well, and here is one more reason why. Ninja has left TikTok, citing concerns about security. And this is Ninja tweeting this out, so that he had deleted the Chinese app, China-made app, which it is made in China, TikTok, over privacy concerns. And he tweeted this out to 6 million followers. Now, I said he deleted the app. His account is still active as of right now, but he is not using it. So there's what he posted on that. And this kind of follows a number of things that are going on with TikTok for both people who are supportive and not supportive. They've already been banned in India. They have voluntarily left Hong Kong to showcase that they don't want to share information with police there. There's the threat of a possible banning in the United States. The U.S. Department of Justice is looking at ways that that might happen. And then on top of that, you have Instagram, which is coming into a number of different countries with Reels, which is their kind of version of TikTok, if you will. And they went live in India, Brazil, France, and Germany. So a lot going on when it comes to TikTok. There's also a campaign, though, from TikTok users to go back against Trump, and that is to basically review bomb their app. So review bomb the Trump app, and there's a campaign for that on TikTok right now to go there and do that as well. So a lot happening with TikTok, and we'll have to see where this all shakes out. But again, just keeping you up to date with what's going on. So that's one more major influencer who is leaving the platform, with Ninja posting that. You can read more about TikTok and everything going on at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on with trending news, let's talk about a new Google Nest speaker. So this comes on the heels of an image that was leaked showcasing what was looked to be maybe the follow-up to the Google Home device or a Google Nest speaker, and now Google has confirmed that. So they put out this video, sent it out to publishers from their PR team to kind of showcase a little bit of what's going on, and there it is right there. So it's when you see that girl come in there with the speaker and holding that, that's what we're looking at. So there's the picture of it right there. Definitely a lot bigger. If you have a Google Home, it's a tiny little speaker. This is a lot bigger than that. A couple of things that are being speculated with this is that it's, one, it's not as big as the Google Home Max for sure, but it is definitely bigger than the Google Home. It's speculated that they're going to be going after better sound, a better speaker quality out of that, and also the possibility that it could run on batteries. That would be a pretty big development for a smart device like that, and that's because when she walks into the room, she's holding it, it's not plugged into anything, so speculation is maybe you will get a battery-powered home smart speaker, which would be a pretty big development. So we'll have to see where that goes, but that's them putting that out. Expect that we'll see more coming out soon with some kind of announcement about what's going on with that, and probably some other products that will go with it. But we've got a whole write-up about it at digitaltrends.com. You can go there and take a look and let us know what you think about that, what you'd like to see in a smart home speaker, but definitely something interesting coming from Google. Continuing on with your trending news today, let's talk about robots. There's a number of robots that we have talked about so far on this show, but this is another way that a robot could help out humans and not necessarily take away a human's job. So this is a robot chemist that's actually coming out of the University of Liverpool, and this was trending today because people were talking about how this lab assistant, this robot chemist, could work 1,000 times faster than any human, and that is because it can do all these experiments on its own. can operate autonomously. They did a test where they had it running 700 different experiments with 10 possible variables over 8 days. And it operated completely on its own, autonomously, doing all of this, running these experiments, doing these chemical tests. And there's very detailed chemistry that went on there. If you want to read more about that, you can find that at Digital Trends. But the idea here is that this would be able to help out a lot of humans. And if you think about all of the medical research and different things that are necessary right now, this could certainly be something that could help people out, because they said that it gets very tedious, it's very it's very intensive to do these kinds of experiments, and that's why having a robotic chemist would really help that out. But that is something you can also read more about there at digitaltrends.com, a robot chemist. All right, and we got a couple more here for you. Coming up tomorrow, SpaceX is going to continue with their launch of Starlink satellites. Now, this is one that's been delayed a couple of times, but now their new window is going to be tomorrow morning, and that is Saturday morning, depending on when you watch this, where they're going to be setting up 57 Starlink satellites. Something interesting about this launch, though, is that these are going to have the visor sats. So visor sats, meaning they're going to have a visor to try to keep some of that sunlight from being reflected back down to the Earth. So a big issue with the Starlink satellites that a lot of astronomers have had is that they reflect the light back, and it clouds up the sky, makes it hard for their telescopes to work. So this is something that could maybe reduce some of that reflectiveness on these. So this is an attempt to try that out. They're going to be trying out some other ones on further launches with some different things called dark satellites, but this one would have this visor on it to help maybe keep some of that reflectiveness from coming back down and messing up astronomers' research. So there's also that. They do have a couple other satellites that are launching up as well, called Black Sky, which are part of their rideshare program. But again, you can read more about that at digitaltrends.com, and of course follow along with the launch. One quick final breaking news story too. If you've been following with what's going on with Ubisoft, with their event that's going to be happening on Sunday, well, we got a leak that came out earlier this week that possibly they could be revealing FarCry 6, when the rumor was Giancarlo Esposito would be playing the villain in this, because this went up on a Hong Kong website where it showcased what looked like the game for sale, and then it was immediately taken down, and Ubisoft tried to not say anything about it, but now today they've just flat out revealed it. So they posted a video showcasing a character that Esposito would be playing called Anton Castillo, and it just said Anton would not be very happy. There it is right there. So that means on Sunday we're probably going to get to see some actual game footage of this new game. I'm excited for that. I'm a Far Cry fan, so I figured a lot of people would want to know about that. But there it is. Far Cry 6 looks like it is on the way, and you can read more about that at digitaltrends.com.